Without any doubt, House of the Dragons and Game of Thrones are the most brutal and interesting series of all time. The series consists of politics, strategies, and war scenarios that are simply awesome. Not to mention, tons of scenes that take you on an emotional roller coaster. And amidst all of this chaos were the flying beasts of Westeros, the fire breathing dragons. The beasts bring life to both shows with their majestic power. But in your opinion, which was the most powerful beast? Who do you think controlled the skies? The older generation consisting of Balerion, or the younger generation dragon-like Drogon? Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to compare different dragons that we saw throughout the Game of Thrones and the House of Dragon series in order to find the most powerful dragons of all times. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Syrax. The first dragon on our list is the youngest dragon in the House of Dragon series, Syrax. The dragon belongs to the second-born son of Rhaenyra Targaryen, Viserion. Syrax hatched shortly after the birth of the prince and was almost the same age as him. In human terms, he was a juvenile with no battle experience, making him the weakest of all dragons. The dragon has leverage in terms of flexibility, as we saw in the finale of House of Dragon Season 1, but it was still no match for a battle-hardened rider. And the reason we think he's the weakest is pretty apparent. He's the only dragon that actually died in the first season of the series. Not to mention, it didn't put up much of a fight. Number 9. Vermax. Considering the weakest dragon of Game of Thrones and House of Dragon series, it makes complete sense that the second weakest has to be Vermax. He was slightly larger and more experienced, but still didn't have any battle experience. Its rider, Jacaerys Velaryon, is Lucerys' elder brother and surpassed him by around a year. In other words, Vermax was somewhat similar to Syrax in experience, power, and age. The only difference is its rider. Jacaerys was slightly more courageous than Lucerys, so he might have a chance to put up a fight in a real battle. But of course, it has no match for larger dragons like Vhagar or even Meleys. Number 8. Syrax. Named after the Valyrian goddess, Syrax is a mysterious dragon and has very little screen time. It first appeared in the first episode with its rider, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, gliding the skies on its back. The yellow scale dragon is large but relatively young and inexperienced, which puts it at a disadvantage. However, at the time, it is bold like her rider, and we have seen it taking a stand against Daemon's Caraxes. We didn't get to see him much after the first few episodes, but we do know that the dragon is well and has to be at least 30 by the end of Season 1, so we may get to see her in the next season in all of its glory. Number 7. Sunfyre. Sunfyre is yet another mysterious dragon in the House of Dragon series. The dragon appeared in the series just once during the initial training of Aegon II's training. It was young and not that large at the time. However, the House of Dragon source material mentions the dragon in its prime. Sunfyre has a golden appearance and is known as the most beautiful dragon in Westeros. It is massive in scale, far larger than other dragons of the same generation. It also has a unique golden color fire that matches its overall looks. The only weakness of this dragon so far is its rider. As we have all seen, Aegon is not much of a king or a knight. Time may forge the new king, but the pair will still lack experience, which makes them weak. Number 6. Viserion. The one dragon that is the hardest to evaluate in terms of power is Daenerys Targaryen's son, Viserion. The dragon, like its sibling, is fearsome, large, and a little rebellious. The dragon, for the most part, stayed loyal to his mother and displayed skills like no other. But that was just the beginning of the reign. The dragon was later shot and resurrected by the Night King with a serious power upgrade. At this point, he was without any doubt the most powerful of its siblings. The dragon practically took down the whole Black Castle wall that stood high for centuries with its fire breath. And quite frankly, the only reason he's not on top of our list is because his life was connected with Night King, and he died with him. Number 5. Drogon. While we are talking about Daenerys Targaryen's kids, let's talk of Drogon, the most terrifying of her children. The dragon has a scaled look and it's the largest of the siblings. He was also depicted as the most rebellious and hard to control. And while he stayed away from his mother for a major part of the series, the screen time he had was enough to prove his might. Drogon fought with an army to save his mother, was present during the fight with the Night King, and was the one to burn Castle Rock. Not to mention, he melted the Iron Throne at the end of the series. We sincerely believe that if the dragon was alive during the House of the Dragon era, he would have been a total beast, slaughtering armies in mere minutes. Number 4. Meleys. The dragon didn't have much screen time in the first series, but its mere entrance was enough to establish its power. The dragon shook the whole Hall of Knights with just a roar and marched out of the kingdom like a boss. The red dragon has scarlet scales with pink membrane wings and is the largest living dragon after Vhagar. The dragon is much talked about in the series as a real battle-hardened dragon who earned the name Red Queen due to its power and swiftness. The dragon even surpassed Caraxes and Vhagar in terms of speed and flexibility. What makes her even more deadly is the person riding on it, which is none other than Princess Rhaenys Balerion. The tag team of these women was enough to bring armies to its knees, and what we saw during Aegon's crowning was just a trailer of their might. Number 3. Caraxes. They say that animals sometimes take after their wonder. Well, that is not completely true for Daemon's dragon Syrax. The red dragon has a demonic look with red scales all over the body, large sharp teeth, yellow eyes, and a roar that can put the fear of God into anyone. The dragon belonged to Aemon Targaryen before it was passed down to his nephew Daemon. The dragon didn't just take a new rider, but also adopted Daemon's viciousness. We saw his potential during the Crab Feeder War, where this dragon burned enemies to a crisp. Under Daemon's guidance, the dragon was an unstoppable killing machine. He was large, powerful, and had been a part of several wars. It is safe to say the dragon did justice to its given name, Bloodworm. Number 2. Vhagar. Queen Visenya Targaryen dragon Vhagar, who later passed down to Aemon, is the largest in the House of Dragon series. The bronze dragon is feared by almost every dragon rider, and for good reasons. It was one of the original trio that the Targaryens used to conquer the Seven Kingdoms, which tells a lot about his strength. In fact, it's mentioned in the series that this particular dragon was worth more than a whole army of knights. And like Meleys, this one also has a pretty good rider. Aemon, throughout the series, proved to be a beast. The last episode of Season 1 shows us a glimpse of terror this duel could bring. They literally shredded Syrax and its rider like dry leaves. Number 1. Vermithor. It's a passage that was nearly overshadowed by the final scene of House of the Dragon Season 1 finale. The passage in question intrigued viewers somewhat, as it featured Daemon Targaryen Dragonstone, the stronghold of House Targaryen on the continent of Westeros, with an unidentified dragon. Vermithor is a dragon that doesn't have a rider, but it's not totally savage. In fact, this dragon had a master, Jaehaerys I Targaryen, who is none other than the grandfather of Viserys and Daemon. This dragon is Vermithor. It is also called the Brazen Fury. It is a beast that would be crucial for the Black against the Greens, who have a huge dragon, Vhagar. If they took control, they would have equivalent punching power and would arguably deter the Greens from launching reckless attacks. The first king dragon, Balerion. King Aegon is the first king and joined the Seven Kingdoms under a single banner, all the while riding on his dragon, Balerion. The dragon belonged to the old generation and saw more battles than most, making him highly capable. The dragon has no screen time, but it has been mentioned multiple times in the series that it has the most vicious beast of all time. The people of its time called it the Black Dread, as the dragon was massive, and its single wing could block sunlight for half of the city. If not for its death, it would have been the most ferocious dragon in the series. putting fear into every dragon rider in Westeros. Special mention: the Cannibal. While the House of Dragon series has not yet given any hint of ancient dragons, the source material mentions one very interesting: the Cannibal. The dragon is not yet revealed in any series, so we won't include it in the top 10 list, but this one definitely deserves a mention. The dragon, like its name, it's an ominous one that's feared even amongst its own kind. According to the lore, he's the oldest dragon living in the Dragonstone, and has never been once tamed. The dragon tears every human who tries to ride it, and he feeds on other dragons, hence the name Cannibal. This could change the whole direction of any fight or war, and it will be interesting to see this beat in the series. What do you think? Will the Cannibal play a part in the upcoming season and the Great Dragon Dance? Moreover, if it appears, who do you think should face off against him? Let us know in the comment section below. Bye, and I'll see you next time.